guys, welcome back to Bellyacre's Kitchen. You guys, it's time to start preserving the harvest. I'm so excited. Look at all of these tomatoes that we have been picking over the last week or so. I need 10 pounds of tomatoes to be able to make my salsa that I can, and I have just a little over 10 pounds. I left some over there, but this is just a little over 10 pounds. So I'm going to be making Salsa Amarillo because it's all out of yellow tomatoes. These are all lemon boys. You guys, these lemon boys have been amazing. I don't normally make salsa out of slicer tomatoes, but I have an abundance and I want to get them done, taken care of, because some of them are already slightly bruised, and I want to create something with that. Now I do have some peppers from our garden, but I also have some store-bought peppers that I've had in the fridge that need to get used up, so I'm going to go ahead and process those. I'm not using any of the onions that I've harvested from the garden. I'm going to use just 3 medium tomatoes, 3 medium onions, and then I have 6.5, I say half because this one has a small one, cloves of garlic. So that is 10 pounds of tomatoes, 1 pound of peppers. I do have some serranos in there with the jalapenos, but only a few. And then 3 medium onions and 6 cloves of garlic. And we are going to make some salsa, so I'm excited. All right, so the other things are lemon juice. Of course, I'm going to water bath can these, so you want some sort of acid to add to your salsa. So it's a tablespoon per pint. And then sugar and salt. So that's really all we're needing for this. So I have this pot here. I love this. This pot is awesome for canning and for making salsa and jellies, because you can get everything mixed, and it's more wide than tall, and I really love this. Mom got this at H-E-B years ago. She had several, I think 3 of them. She gave me one. The cool thing is it also comes with a lid. So if I need the lid, I have a lid. And I have used this to make tamales as well. So this is a very versatile pot. I love this. I've been looking for another one, but I haven't been back down to Texas to H-E-B well, I guess we were there in April, and I kind of looked for one. I didn't find one like this, but I love it. I'm going to, this has water in it that is boiling or almost to a boil. I'm going to go ahead and core and score these tomatoes, and then we're just going to blanch them quickly so that we can get them peeled. So I do have a corer. I just take the stem off, and if it'll come off. If not, I'll just, yeah. I'm going to set that aside, and then I can just pop that little core out, just like that. Show you what I got. See, just like that. And then I'm going to score these just a little X right there on the bottom. And I'm going to do several of these before I start putting them in the water, because they really only need to be in the water for seconds. Get a bowl to catch all of that. All right, I do also want to note that I have 7 pints in hot soapy water in my sink already soaking, so that I can wash them really well. They're just coming out of storage, so I want to make sure they're really clean. And getting them in hot soapy water, that kind of helps you prepare them for the canning process. So, or in hot water anyway. So I've got cans, I've got the jars, the lids, and the rings all in hot soapy water. So I'm going to bring you guys in closer so you guys can see this process here. All right, before I get started, like this one's split on the vine, I'm going to go ahead and cut some of these spots off so then that way I'm not fighting with it when it's hot. All right, so this water is just about boiling, but it's good enough. I'm going to drop these in. I just want the peels to kind of release. Now, if you have a lot of tomatoes and you don't have time to process them right away, if you score them like this and go ahead and core them and put them in the refrigerator, in the freezer, go ahead and freeze them. Peeling them is actually so much easier because they will, when you run water, they will just fall right off. So I'm going to leave those that direction for a little bit. This is why I like this pot. Look at this, how many of these tomatoes I'm able to just put right in there. I've got all but one. This is the one that I've kind of cut a lot off. So I kind of want to hold on to that anyway. So these actually went all the way. They're submerged. Once the water displacement of the tomatoes, then they do kind of submerge a little. All right, so we're going to test one. All right, you see this here, how this is, the skin is starting to pull away. That is actually perfect. I'm going to grab a couple of these while the others sit in there. This one right here is already starting to come off all by itself. I don't know if you guys can see that. All right, I'll let those sit for a little bit longer. All right, so this process is just literally just peeling that skin right off. Just like that. If you need to, you can get you some ice water so that you can handle the tomatoes a little better. All right, so I do need to do some cleaning up on this one. So I'll clean that up where the skin didn't come off because of the where the stem was. If they cool off too quickly or too much, you're not able to peel them, quite as easily. Whoop. Okay. And those little tough spots, you can come back and clean that up with a knife. You can just chop off those little pieces and it will be okay. You're not losing a whole lot there. You do want to work a little quickly because you don't want your other tomatoes to start to boil. So just get what you can off and then you can come back and use your knife and get the rest off. Ooh, these are getting a little warm. Again, you want to work fairly quickly because you don't want your other ones to boil. So if this means putting them in your water little at a time, if you don't feel like you can get them peeled quickly, then just put them in just a few batches at a time. All right, since these are getting a little bit warmer, I'm going to go ahead and get an ice bath so those can go into. All right, now that my water is getting a little hotter over there, I'm going to go ahead and drop these in ice because I want to stop the cooking process. Make sure you leave enough room for water displacement, but just so they can get in and start to kind of cool down, because if your water gets to that rolling boil, you don't want to cook your tomatoes down to nothing because then your salsa is quite runny. And if you're going for chunky, which we're going to cook these again, so that doesn't really matter. We cook it all together. We're going to kind of speed you guys through this process. This is where I'm just going to clean them up a little bit, take off any skins that didn't come off during the blanching process, and cut out those little cores, the little hard spots. And as I'm cutting those, I'm going to cut them in half and put them right into my Ninja. As this gets full, I will process it. I don't want to run it for very long. I will dump it right in there. It is not on, so I'm just leaving it right there, not on, because I want all of this to cook together. All right, I'm going to continue this, and then we'll move to the next step.
you dry. Do you know I'm looking, and I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along, and I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could...
All right, you guys, look at that. It looks like a big old pan of pineapple, which sounds quite appetizing, actually. But I'm going to go ahead and clean up my mess so we can move on to the next step. All right, so the next thing I'm going to process are the jalapenos. Honestly, I just need to kind of go through them and make sure there's no bad spots, because some of these have been in the refrigerator for a little while. I am leaving the seeds in. We do like a spicier salsa. If you do not want your salsa as spicy, you can cut back on peppers, and you can also take the seeds out. So for the most part, just chopping off the ends, making sure there's no mold spots. You can slice them in half. Makes it just a little bit easier to go through the processor. Just remember to not touch your eyes after this. If you wear contacts, either take your contacts out before you start handling the peppers or put gloves on. The smaller ones, I'm not cutting in half. I'm just throwing them in there. This is 1 pound of peppers. Now I do have some serranos in here, so I'm not going to say they're just jalapenos. There are some serranos. This one got a little sunburnt, so I might just cut that whole side off. Woo, some of these do smell hot. Again, I'm just cutting off the bad spots if there's bad spots. It's got a huge bad spot in it. That is approximately 1 pound of peppers, and I'm going to put this right back in the Ninja. And you guys, this Ninja is amazing. Chop this down fairly quickly. All right. Now this is also going to go right in this pot. Bring you guys over so you can see it going in. All right. Ooh, that's a lot of seeds. My goodness. Set that right there, and it smells hot. Look at that mountain there. All right, so next would be the onions, because that's the next biggest thing. Just going to cut the ends off. and then quarter it, peel it, throw it in there. We should have enough room in here for all three and the garlic as well. Whoa. Hey, Desi, are you right there by your door? All right, that was 3 medium onions and 6 cloves of garlic. All right, so chopped up onions and garlic. I may have chopped that a little too long. I forget the power of the ninja, but it's all right. It's diced up. All right, look at that, you guys. That is a mountain of beautiful, beautiful stuff. So now we're just going to get our salt and sugar. Now we're going to put 3 tablespoons of salt in here. 1, 2, 3, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. And the sugar will really bring out that, all the flavors. 1. Ooh, that's a little bit much too. All right, so a couple of things here. This is where you can add stuff in. If you want to add cumin in, or paprika, or some of the other spices that you like in a salsa, this is your opportunity. You just add it here. We're going to turn this on to about a 4 on mine. And this is the best part of these types of pots. I don't have to worry about if I'm getting everything mixed into the bottom of one of these taller pots, which this wouldn't fit in here, but I do have a big stock pot. Well, then especially for short people, you're not having to stand, like really stand on your tippy toes to see the contents, and you can actually make sure that everything is getting mixed. You don't have a whole bunch of onions sitting at the bottom or a whole bunch of peppers, right? So I am going to put the lid on this, and I'm going to set my timer for 45 minutes, but I will be checking on it regularly, stirring it occasionally, and we should start smelling this soon. Set this right over here, set my timer. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and clean up my mess again, and then I'm going to get my jars and everything prepared, get my canner out, get it ready, and then we're ready for the very next step as soon as that's done. All right, you guys, we got about 12 minutes left on this salsa. Let's bring you guys in, see if you guys can see it under all the steam. I'm going to go ahead and uncover it for this last 12 minutes because I really do need it to reduce down because it is pretty watery, but man, it smells good. It looks good. So I'm going to leave it uncovered for this last 12 minutes. But meanwhile, I need lemon juice for the jars, and I need a tablespoon per, pretty sure, yep, tablespoon per pint, and I have 7 pints, so I need at least 7 tablespoons of lemon juice. So while we're waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and juice some lemons. I've got 3 lemons here. I don't know if I can get 7 tablespoons out of 3 lemons, but we're going to give it a shot. You can also use the lemon juice that's in the jar, in the little can. That works too, like the little bottle. I do not have any right now, so I am going to juice some lemons. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Thanks. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and dump this in this measuring cup because I need 3.5 ounces. And look at that. I have got 4 fluid ounces. So I have plenty of lemon juice for my jars. All right, you guys, so while we're waiting on the salsa to be done, I got about 5 minutes left on it. Let's take a tour of the working pantry. We did get some more stuff done. We actually moved around our kitchen. I think you guys have probably noticed we moved the refrigerator to that side and cleaned out this. It was just kind of a catch-all, but now I can separate out my produce. We moved in this TV stand. You guys, we've had this TV stand forever. I tried giving it to our son and he never came and got it, and then I was going to sell it and nobody ever came and got it, so I brought it in. And it actually works really great for a appliance station. So I can actually see inside my ice machine. I also uncovered my board, so maybe I can jump ahead from, actually get caught up. That was in May. My Instant Pot, or my multi-cooker, Pampered Chef multi-cooker is plugged in, ready. My mixer stays plugged in and ready. I have my Ninja over there that stays plugged in and ready. And then I have some other things that we are going to be talking about on an upcoming video, things that I want to review with you guys. But anyway, great storage. I can keep all of my stuff separated. Of course, you guys know where the pink, oh, that fell. My little hook fell for my aprons, but that's okay. I've got an idea for something else. But the infamous pink shelf. And then we did get some curtains up. We had these curtains at the old house in the kitchen. We have our storage, our bulk storage down there. This entire shelf is store-bought things. And then this shelf, we are going to be putting all of our canned goods here. And of course, the egg system here. So getting things out and ready. Now this isn't done. This is just something that's going to get me through the canning season. So we are obviously going to build shelves and build countertops and things like that, and get this wall done. Hopefully we don't have to re-sheet rock since I've got so many stains on it already, but we're going to be getting to all of this. But just for the canning season, we are getting this fixed to where I have more counter space. This has reduced down quite a bit. It's not quite as liquidy as it was, and that's what we want. I did have to add another 5 minutes because it wasn't quite there at the 12, but you can see, if you leave your pot covered, it just cooks, which that's what I wanted to do at the beginning. And then that last, I guess, 17 minutes now, because I added another 5 minutes, you can see how much it has reduced down. Here is the line where it was cooking, and here is where it's at now. So it's reduced down quite a bit. You're going to get a lot more chunks per jar this way. So just going to let it finish up that last minute, and then we'll go from there. All right, so right now, while that is just about done, I'm going to go ahead and get my jars out of here. I have my jars in here with water in them, and I have this on low. So I wanted to be heating my jars, because you never want to put hot product in a cold jar and then stick it in a canner. You will risk breaking the jar. So just going to do that. I may have to add more water in there when I go to can. We are just water bath canning these. This is a pressure canner, but for the salsa, it just requires water bath canning, because I add lemon juice that helps with the acidity. I'm going to go ahead and leave that cooking, because, like I said, I want it to reduce a little bit more, which is fine. I'm going to leave it cooking while we take care of this over here. All right, so we want a tablespoon of lemon juice in each one of these jars. This lemon juice is not cold because it has been sitting here on the table. I always put my lemon juice in first. You can put your lemon juice in at the very end. Either way, it doesn't matter, just as long as you don't forget to put the lemon juice in, because that is what's going to keep your contents from going bad. I try to put it in first, because if I don't, I will forget. I'm going to move, these jars are a little bit hot, but I'm going to move them over so that I have room to put my pot here. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that. This is Salsa Amarillo. You know, you have Salsa Verde. This will be Salsa Amarillo because it's yellow, right? Instead of green salsa. So it's Salsa Amarillo. You guys, this is awesome. This was sent to me by Sue Evans, and I absolutely love it. This ladle is deep enough. It has pour spouts on both sides, so if you are right-handed or left-handed, you can use this. It also has measurements in here. It goes all the way up to 8 ounces. So that is so super cool. And this is the best part. When you have to put it down, it has a little hook here where you can just hang it on your pot, and it won't fall into your pot. So awesome. Woo. I got a little overzealous there. All right. So you do want to leave some head space here, probably about a 1/2 inch. So I usually just get to the bottom ring there. See, that's hot, but that bottom. So there's that. All right, let's do this. See if I don't mess it up. Okay. I got my canning funnel, so this helps a lot. There we go. Just got to get under a rhythm here. And this is why I put a towel underneath, because it is a messy business. But also because I don't want my hot jars on the cold countertop. You guys, I know what my faux pas is here. This recipe makes 7 pints if you're using paste tomatoes. I normally use Romas for this, and I'm not used to having this much liquid. So I need to get a couple of more pots ready. Jars ready. Probably 2 more. It's probably just 1, but I'm going to get 1 more. Get 2 more just to be on the safe side. I'm going to put lemon juice in one of these because I don't want to waste the lemon juice if it's... Ooh, Rachel, do this with the left hand, they said. Okay. I have enough to do another jar if I need it. Oh yeah, definitely going to need the other jar. This is exciting. I actually have enough lemon juice to go 1 more jar if we need it, you guys. Whew. We can go 1 more jar, I think. Well, we will never complain about too much salsa. I don't think you can have too much salsa. We have enough for 1 more jar if that's the case. I don't think that's the case. This one may end up being a refrigerator one because it may not be enough to fill a jar. This is tricky business, y'all. That's it. That's too much. I can't possibly squeeze that little bit in any other jar. Maybe that one. You have to leave the head space because if you don't, it could make your jar explode because you want enough room for that to cook in there. All right. You guys, look at this. 10 jars. 10 jars. All right, this part's really important. You want to take a long spatula, skinny spatula, and you want to kind of stick it down, go up and down like this. And what you're doing here is you're getting rid of any air bubbles in the bottom of your jar. I have never made salsa amarillo. I'm super excited about this. I think on the next batch, if I make some more of these, I may have to try making it with cominos in it, just because I think that would be a really cool Tex-Mex twist on, since it's salsa amarillo. That makes more sense since you're naming Amarillo already, right? All right. So see how I should have waited with that last little bit. By doing this, I don't know if you guys can see that that did go down a little bit. That's because we're removing any air bubbles in the bottom. All right, I need to get me a couple of more lids. What, 3 more lids? So then that way I'm prepared. All right, so I dropped those lids in there to heat up. Now I'm going to go around and clean off these jars. Wash rag with hot water, and I'm just going to go around here. And what I'm doing is I'm cleaning off any juice or debris. You can use vinegar here too. Off the rim. That way you make sure that the rings will seal. All right. Okay. And then I'm going to take my little magnet. Now my magnet's been through the mill, you guys. It does come apart, so we're going to work with it. I have dropped, I wish I could get you guys up here, but I have dropped lids down in here, and they are hot. I mean, not terribly. And I don't have all name brand lids or anything. And I know that's kind of a risk, but I've been canning a lot of years, and I've never put a whole lot of stock in name brand anything. Oh, see, lost my magnet. Yeah. Come on. There we go. Oh, I was so close. I always threaten to glue that back on, and I always forget. This is where this will come in handy. Check this out. Thank you, Jimmy. My brother Jimmy gave me those. All right, so let's come back over here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to put these right on there. You want the rubber seal to touch the rim. That one looks like it's been popped before. No, it's just the rubber on the outside of it. All right. Okay, then we're just going to take our rings, tighten those right on. Finger tight. You don't want to just crank them too much, just finger tight. I'm gonna have to double stack these, which it's great that I have a big Presto canner because I can double stack. Now the trick here, see if I can get you guys tall enough to see inside. All right, so now you guys can see what I'm doing in here. The trick here is I don't let my jars touch. I want my jars separated. Okay. Now I'm going to put this in between. I hope this will work. I am going to have to have more water. Kind of separate those. Hopefully that'll hold on there. I've got a little rubber flower that actually could go right there, but I don't know where it's at, so we're going to pray for the best there. This is when I need my pot filler, you guys. If I had my pot filler, I'd just run it over and fill it up. I'm going to use hot water here because we want it to get to a boil as quickly as possible. This is still on low. I'm going to go ahead and turn it up to have, so I'm going to we're almost there, you guys. Oh my goodness. Holy henna. Put this right on top. There we go. All right, so we're going to let this come to a boil, and then we're going to cook it for 10 minutes. All right, you guys, so we finally got this up to a boil, and it is just over the top of those. So I have set my timer for 10 minutes. It's counting down, so in 10 minutes we'll pull these. All right, you guys, so time is up because my timer went off, so we're going to pull these out. These on the top, they're not quite underwater anymore. So I don't know if they will seal or not, but look at how all of those juices are still boiling in there. That's what you want. Basically you want the inside of your jars to be over that boiling point, so then that way you can make sure that it kills any kind of bacteria. And water bath canning is a little different, well, a lot different than pressure canning, because we never did get this pressure up. But because we added the acid of the lemon juice, we brought that pH level up. These are perfectly safe to water bath can. I don't want that to get in my way. Oop, I heard one already. I have never double stacked them. I didn't even know that was a thing till Michelle was like, oh, you have a big canner, you can double stack. I'm like, I can? Didn't know that. All right. Well, after those have cooked, they look more like salsa verde, but I can assure you they are not salsa verde. They do not have the spices and the stuff for that. But you guys, look at that. That is 10 pints of Salsa Amarillo. Some of them are already starting to pop. I'm going to leave them to sit here overnight and let them cool, and we will check them. Ooh, that one's got water on top. We will check them tomorrow and see which ones have sealed and which ones have not. The ones that have not we'll stick in the refrigerator and we'll eat in the next couple of days. If they all sealed well, we will take the rings off and stick them on our shelf. But yay! I'm so excited. This is the first thing that we have canned here at the new homestead. I'm just thrilled to death. All right, you guys. Well, that's it. 10 pints of Salsa Amarillo. It's the same recipe if you're doing red tomatoes. This is just what we had right now and what we needed to get processed. I have a whole bunch of cucumbers right here that need to be processed. I guess I'll probably try pickling them. Most of those are those little lemon cucumbers. So I don't know how well those will pickle, but we're going to find out. Not today, but we'll find out within the next couple of days because I've got to get those processed, get something done. I might even make some relish out of them. That'd probably be a better deal since they're so thin-skinned. But anyway, I hope you guys like our videos. If you do, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends. Leave a comment. Let me know what you do different. I think the next time if I make salsa amarillo again, I will be adding a little bit of cumin in it because I think just because Amarillo is in Texas and it's more of a Tex-Mex thing, salsa amarillo sounds like it needs cumin to me. I don't know. That's just the way my brain works. Anyway, until next time, you guys, God bless.